Alrighty, so what I want to do today is I want to fill in that space right there. Okay, we've got all this space to the left of Emerson Hills and Garnet Hills. I, for some reason, read that as something like Gatchet. You know what? G-A-C-A. There you go. Gatchet Hills. That sounds nasty. Anyway, to the left of Emerson Hills and Gatchet Hills, I want to fill that space in with some residential. So I want to turn this road here into some kind of avenue, basically. And then sort of, you know, connect everything over. Similar to what we did straight through the middle here, basically. We're going to do that again. But we're going to do it over here. And we're not going to turn it into a bridge. This space will be residential and commercial. This space over here will be a lot of trees. And then I want to do some suburbs out here, so that we can really bring the population up, because we've been sitting around trying to get towards 80,000 people for so long, and we keep getting to like 60,000, then everybody dies, and then we get to 60,000, then everybody dies. But the good news is, I suppose, I've been reading the comments on the previous episode of this series, and largely, the consensus is largely that I should go into options. I should go to 81 tiles, and I should just unlock all of them for free. So I'm glad we can get that out of the way. I'm glad we all kind of agree that, you know, this whole 81 tiles nonsense has been holding Dorchester back for a while. And the good news is that, number one, I can go ahead when we get the international airport, and I can put it out here really, really easily. Number two, we can actually finish this bit of Dorchester Small Airport, which we might do today as well. But first things first, I want to change this space up. So let's go ahead and start dezoning everything so that we can figure out what we're working with. Kind of similar to, you know, like I said, what we've done before. So all of that bit needs to go. And then this road needs to go. This road needs to go as well. And then somehow that's going to connect over down here. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this bit. I figure we're probably going to want to... Well, honestly, we're probably going to want to do something like this. Let me get myself this little road. Let me go straight across like this. And let me go... so that's where the curve originally starts. I don't think we need to worry about where the curve originally started. So we'll take out all of this, right? The new road will still be, you know, where that one was, but we take all that out. We go and do something a bit like that. And we're just going to go 2 units and in, 2 units and in, bulldoze you, and then we'll turn all that into the roads that it needs to be. So something a bit like that with a 6-lane avenue. And that's honestly the easiest, cheapest, filthiest way to make this work. So that's kind of what we're going to do. It's not going to be, it's not luxurious, but it does the job, right? So we'll just put this avenue whole way up to there. And then we just need to get a curve on here. So let's see what we're looking at. We are looking at 11 by 13. So this one up here needs to go 2 units down. And then this one just needs to go and do that kind of curve. And that's fine. That will work. That will do the job that we want it to do. Oh, there's 4 lanes coming in. Why is there 4 lanes going in there? I feel like I did that on purpose at some point, obviously, but I've completely forgotten what the reason would have been, so we'll not worry too much about it. Let's just go ahead and set these lanes up so it is a bunch of left turns there, so no one's doing anything they shouldn't be doing. And then basically this is just gonna, like I said, it's gonna push straight up towards the key at the top here, and we can connect it to everything. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, honestly, this road here can be 2-way at this point. The entire 1-way system we had around this old part of town is, I mean, it doesn't really exist anymore, does it? So we're probably just going to want to change a lot of this to be 2-way roads. So this one here can be 2-way. This one here can probably be 2-way, and the whole way around is just going to be a series of 2-way roads. Because honestly, it'll probably just work a little bit better. It lets traffic kind of go do its thing. Now, having those 3 connections will be pretty solid. I'm tempted though to maybe bring another one through the middle here. So off of that spot, essentially, what, here? We would go through there. We would go through there. And we would go through there. And obviously, Emerson Hills has got an old time policy. So on that road, we'd want to go in and be like, okay, you know, take all the district off of it. But that might just let traffic flow a little better. We'll see what happens. There is also an old time policy on this road, which we're not going to want. And there's not one on that road, and there's not one on that road. So that'll be fine. And it'll give us a little bit more space to work with, and it might neaten things a little bit, but it also gives us room to build to the left side here, which is kind of the focus. So, given that this road, what was the new one? This was the new one. Let's make this the main road that comes into this new area. And I think what I want to do, since I want a lot of residential in here, is I'm going to use that road with the trees on it. And I think we'll go... I don't want to go down here. We'll use this one as well. I don't want to use this one because it's so close to the highway. That's probably just going to cause problems. But we'll bring these in another 10. We'll bring that in another 10. Maybe another 10 again. And then I just want to connect them together. And that's essentially just going to be a big... Oh, it could almost be a one-way road. Do we have any one-way avenue? I mean, we do. We have like the 6 lanes, but I don't think we need 6-lane one-way roads looping around the middle of a residential space. I guess that'll be fine. Let's just go ahead and bring some roads off of that. It's not going to be anything fancy. It's not going to be anything over the top. It's not going to be anything like, you know, massively complicated. I do want to get some nice space in here, but I also want that density. That's kind of the big deal. Is getting the density in here because I've pretty much decided that the edge of the city is going to be this highway. So this will be densely packed, but low rises, kind of like what we've done here, right? It's quite densely packed here, but no building is more than what? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 floors on that, which is pretty high, but you know, this one here is probably about 20. And then buildings over here are probably 30, 40, 50 floors. So buildings out here largely are going to be a lot smaller than buildings elsewhere. And that's kind of the whole idea. So let's go ahead and bring a road out to here. And let's link those together. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do the same thing on this side. So that's kind of okay. I think this side can be a little... different. This side should probably just be really, really dense zoning to try and hide the highway that's right there. So I think that's kind of what we'll do. We'll bring this out as well to maybe there, and we'll bring this over to about there. So that side's completely uninspired. That side's completely boring. It's this side that's going to be interesting, and this space in the middle too, because that could be a park. It could be. I don't think putting a road right down the middle there is going to be too interesting. Unless we do it and put services on it, which actually, when I phrase it like that, I'm tempted. So let's do this. Let's bring that over this way. We'll put some services in there. Maybe a hospital, maybe, I don't know, something. We'll put something in there. In fact, let's bring that road right up to the edges here. And right up to the edges here. And we'll go like this, like, no, not quite like that. Up to here, and we can do services in that middle space. We can make it all nice looking. We can go in and maybe even change it to these roads here. Does that look? Ooh, yeah, that was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. Let's use these roads because they look considerably nicer, and then maybe some trees leading up to it. So yeah, that middle space can be services. We'll get some trees in there. We'll make it fancy. We'll make it nice. Let's just get some houses first because that's where the demand is. And let me run the simulation while I do this because I'm curious to see what traffic does with this new avenue. And we'll bring this in as well. And that actually gives us room for a path right down the middle, which I love. I absolutely love getting that kind of thing. So that actually, isn't that what we did for like this whole area originally? Like we left it, it was like a gap of 11 between the roads so we can get the path down the middle. I'm pretty sure that is what we did originally. So this is like a little callback, I guess. It's a little callback to the start of Dorchester. Oh. Which, by the way, I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about this. If you're watching this on the old YouTube, don't worry, this isn't just a shallow plug for the Mixer live stream and all that stuff, although it is being streamed on Mixer, and, you know, hello to the Mixer chat that's watching it live, but that's beside the point. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be most likely aware that City Skylines Sunset Harbor is coming up in the near future. You're probably wondering what's going to happen to Dorchester, and long story short, I haven't the slightest idea what's going to happen to Dorchester, because usually when a new Cities DLC comes out, I will be like, okay, you know, let's focus on that. But I don't want to drop Dorchester, you know? I don't want to abandon this, because I think this is like the coolest city I've done thus far. So I've got a couple of ideas floating about. One of them is like, let's somehow do 2 City Skylines series at the same time. Dorchester can maybe be live streamed a lot more regularly, but recorded a little bit less. I don't really know. And then obviously like the Sunset Harbor one would be completely done off of the live stream and sort of more of a traditional Let's Play, but maybe with face cam, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of enjoying doing some stuff with face cam recently. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about a bunch of different things we could do for Sunset Harbor, and, you know, ways to sort of keep both series going, because I'm still really enjoying Dorchester, even if it is my slowest series that I've had thus far in City Skylines. You know, it's by no means one that's like, I mean, look at this is what, 17 episodes of progress, and it's like half of this space in here is probably going to get bulldozed and rebuilt at some point in the near future. So yeah, there's a lot more that I want to do with Dorchester before I consider it anywhere near done. This will be a series that I think will stick around for a while, which I'm okay with. I like that. So yeah, I'm thinking about things is what I'm doing. I'm thinking about things. Also gonna do some parking lots in here. Let's see, that's not the parking lot category. Parking lots are gonna be right here. So a couple of parking lots in there. We got these paths coming over, which I think I could make a little nicer if I just move them a little bit. Actually, that looks terrible. Let's not do that. Can I just do more parking lots? That looks much better. That actually looks considerably better. And then behind that, let me just do the red paths is what I'm thinking. So throw those in behind the parking lots. They actually look kind of interesting, and, you know, it'll give us a little bit more of a divide between any zoning we put on these roads up here and the services that we're going to put right in the middle of this space, which honestly probably should include schools. That's kind of what I'm thinking, because I think right in the middle of this, I want a hospital, and I'm very tempted to go with this one, but where's the nearest hospital? Yeah, actually, hospital coverage, yeah, it's going to be needed here. So we have the normal cities hospital right there. We have a European hospital there. Let's do the European one. Let's do the European one and see what it would look like. So right about there. Yeah, I like that actually. So we'll do that one, and then throw some parking lots in around and beside it is what we'll do. So we'll go for there and there for a parking lot. I could bring some parking lots down this side as well, but we'll just do a couple of little ones like that, and then we can detail around this and make it all nice looking and all that good stuff. Maybe a little path going across here just to sort of divide the back of the hospital from everything else. So little path right there and up to there. That actually looks okay, and I guess we could totally do some fences to sort of border in those grass areas and make it look intentional, right? So it's intentionally left those grass spaces for trees and plants and all that good stuff is what it's done there. In terms of fire coverage and policing, we could do a fire station there and a police station there with a couple of parking lots at the sides. And then right in the middle there, I wonder, ooh, a high school fits in perfectly. Can you imagine going to that high school though? It's fire station on one side, police station on the other side. You would never get peace and quiet. But that seems like a pretty good place for all that stuff. I'm not gonna lie, that seems like a pretty good place for all that stuff. Right in the middle of the district, right on its own set of roads. You know, it's I like it. I do. I like that a lot. So let's go ahead and do a few little things here. I want to do some parking lots just here so that we never have zoning on those roads back there. And then right in the middle, we could probably do like that one just to set it apart a little bit, and then maybe bring some paths in here as well. So just something like that. And I think that'll do the job. I think that'll, you know, nicely set that middle place apart, which, you know, like I said, you know, will look pretty good. So let's make sure there's water here. There isn't. Oh, this is the first time in a long time we've had to put pipes down. This is the first time in a very long time we've had to put pipes down. So we'll just bring them underneath all the roads and keep it all nice and neat. So something a bit like that. On this side, we could go from here over to there. We could go from here over to there, and then maybe from about there to there as well. So that whole space has got its pipes. Let's do the zoning. So I'm thinking here for commercial. I'm thinking the same along these spaces as well. Although that could be, it could be offices, admittedly. Offices I don't think would be terrible because they might generate a bit less traffic, but I'm not gonna lie, we'll just do offices in here, I think. We'll do a few of them, but nothing major. And then the bulk of this space is supposed to be residential, so I think we're just gonna do that. They're probably not gonna like being so close to the highway, but honestly, they're gonna have to deal with it. It's just the way it's gonna be. Maybe the edges of the district could be, I don't know. Edges of the district could be offices as well, just to sort of add a bit of a buffer. Oh, I didn't connect you. Well, that can be fixed. Bring you into there. There we go. All right. I think that'll be fine. Right? I think that'll be good. Services wise, it should be fantastic. In terms of traffic, it'll probably be awful. But we'll let it run because we do need the commercial, we do need the residential, and then once it all builds up a little bit, we'll put some trees in there and make it kind of beautiful. But while we're waiting for that to happen, I still want to put some trees down. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to do a roundabout. Let's see. Let's do a roundabout right about here. So we want to go, we're going to make this quite a big roundabout. So it's going to be an 8 by 8 the whole way around. So 16 on the old diameter there. So we'll do this, and that should be 16 across, which it absolutely is. That's going to be 1 point coming in. And then what I want to do is measure across the middle, because we're going to need several points actually. So what that right there is actually going to be 1 point coming in. That's going to be 1 point going out. So we get rid of you. And what we want to do is have, let me see here, this road going there. We are going to have this road going there. And we're going to have this road going there. So essentially, this one's going to be highway in. This one over here is going to be over towards the industry, which I know that's going to, you know, cause some problems for traffic hitting a roundabout kind of unnecessarily. We'll probably figure something out for the highway for that, but just for the time being. And then this is going to go to a new residential space. So my thinking would be, you know, 20 by, that's 20 by 20 on a 125. So let's do 135 there. Let's do 20 with a 135 there. And we could have that go over the dirt path there. But what I'm thinking we do, take the dirt path out. We'll make sure prompt and tree anarchy is off. And then do 20. We'll turn off straight slopes as well. We'll go 135 there as well. And we'll basically just bring that suburb out a little bit. Because I've mentioned before, I do want to have suburbs coming up into these hills. And maybe we do another road that comes off of this roundabout here and goes up that way. That might not be a bad idea. Or we do a roundabout here and have it sort of sprawl up that way. But I think we'll go here. So let's try this. This is going to be a stupidly busy roundabout for the area that's going to be in. But I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of excited. So that's 45 there. We want to go out by about 10. Get rid of all this. It is going to be ridiculous, this roundabout. But again, I'm kind of excited to see what kind of chaos I can cause here. So we'll bring that out and we'll do exactly the same thing. So 20 units and that's another 20. I want to keep the angle at 135 and then, you know, out by 20 and 135 up into the hills a little bit. And we'll go 20 and another 20 right there. And that seems like it'll be two pretty sizable suburbs, right? That seems like it'll work out. So let's connect everything together and figure out how this is actually going to work. So we want to bring the highways right back. And then these need to turn into a single avenue. I don't think this is the most efficient way to do... I say I don't think. I am confident that this is not the most efficient way to do this. And I'm probably going to need to change it up again later. But that's kind of another thing I'm really enjoying about Dorchester is it has this like ever evolving thing going on. And that sounds so pretentious. It's like, well, Dorchester's ever evolving. But it kind of does. It's a bit of a meme, the whole like, oh, that's something for future Dylan to deal with. And it's, you know, it's not the best way to build a city, is it? Right? You know, it's like, oh, you know, it's a problem, but I'll deal with it in the future. It's not the best way to do things, but I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. So what kind of distance are we looking at here? That is 5 by 7. Okay, so that needs to come out by like 1. Okay. Okay. So wait, I want this to be exact. I'm not going to lie. So from there, that's 6 by 7. Oh, come on. So I think this needs to be 9. This should then be 6 by 6, which it is. And then this should just connect up to that road without any real hassles. So let me get a one-way road to do this so it will actually measure properly. That looks all right to me. We can flip that one around, turn them into highway roads and set up the lanes properly. Yeah, so the whole like, oh, future Dylan can deal with that thing. It's a bit of a meme, but actually I could do this better. I do like that. I guess I could point to like, I don't know. We could point to my recent addiction to Animal Crossing, right? I hated, when I first started playing that, I hated the idea of a game where it's like, okay, you've done X, Y, and Z. You've done X, Y, and Z. Come back tomorrow to do more stuff. And when it says tomorrow, it literally means tomorrow. It doesn't mean like tomorrow in game. It means, yeah, come back tomorrow. And I hated that at first. And there's certain parts of the game that do that I still dislike. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, hold on a minute. Like, I woke up the other morning and I was like, oh, so you're telling me I get to like go into the game today and, you know, explore the museum, right? That's what this means. Okay. You know what I mean? So I kind of like the idea that I'm gonna have to deal with this in the future is what I'm getting at. There's a degree of fun to that. Now let's see, that's 4. So what is that? That's 6. That's 6. So we're gonna go there. We can make a nice little curve there. I say nice, it's a gentle curve right there. And then this is gonna be 9. So that is 8. That's 9 there. Let's go ahead and do that. And that seems all right. That is going to be an absolute disaster for traffic, I think. But I'm curious to see just what happens, if I'm completely honest. So let's go ahead and just elevate this whole thing. Is what we'll do. Get rid of some buildings there. That's all right. That's actually quite steep there, isn't it? That's fine. That's totally fine. Let's set up the junctions on this roundabout the way they should be. And then we're going to set up some priority signs, which I think if I control click, yeah, it does it automatically, doesn't it? If I control click. So yeah, that actually worked perfectly. So there you go. That's that roundabout set up properly, I think. I am pretty sure. So give way, you can go, you can go, you can go. Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's see what kind of absolute disaster this turns into. Also, speed limits are probably going to be something to have a look at here. But we'll see. We will see what happens. Most of the industrial traffic coming out shouldn't have a problem. And then industrial traffic going in shouldn't have a problem right now either. So that'll be fine. That's a start. This area is actually growing up, which is lovely. I'm thinking we should probably get some buses that go in there. Would have also been a pretty good spot for the metro, but I got rid of it completely because it was just a test, really. We do have bus lines. We do. We don't have any bus lines that go... We have one that goes around this area. Okay. Let me try and set up a new bus line here. So I'm thinking it goes from here. I'm thinking it goes to here. I'm thinking it goes to here. And then somehow goes over this way. Right? So it comes the whole way out here. The whole way out to maybe there as well. Those are quite close together. We'll not do that. But then I want it to come in here and sort of go around this neighborhood as best it can. You know, it can pick people up. It can do all that good stuff. We can stop there. Plenty of stops in the new neighborhood. We'll bring it over this way and we'll loop it there. Right? So that'll service the new area completely. And that'll be perfect. I've also forgot to reconnect that dirt road. Ah, okay. Now that I think about it, I don't know where I'm going to connect that to. I don't know if it should be connected to one of the suburb roads or not, because that'll technically mean that a lot of industrial traffic is going to go in and out of there. But for the time being, that's what we're going to do. For the time being, we'll just bring it through here to there. And that'll push some traffic up onto that road, and that'll be totally fine. Oh, good. This is what we want to see. This is just what we want to see. So as soon as I built a roundabout, I've created traffic problems. I mean, let's be honest. We knew this was going to happen, right? We all knew this was happening as soon as I started laying these roads down. So I don't think we're surprised. I mean, technically speaking, a solution to that would be traffic can just enter the junction whenever. I don't know how good of an idea that's going to be long-term for the roundabout, but sure. That's fine. They can do their thing. I'm also thinking we should probably go down here and say, you guys can go to either of those lanes. You guys can go to either of those lanes. And then on this road, you stay in your lane. So wherever you're going, you stay in lane, right? You don't need to do none of this merging nonsense. You just stay in your lane. So they'll get into that, you know, that right lane as they hit that road, and that'll be totally fine. So it's cleared out. It's all sorted. Everything is perfect. We're good. So that's what you want to see. You want to see that, you know, coming together. Let's start fixing some of the paths and stuff in here, because we did get rid of some of them, and some of them get messed up a little bit with some of the new roads. So we'll bring some paths through all of that space. And honestly, we have got some commercial demand. So let's just fill up this space with commercial, right? Let's fill up all of that space with a bit of commercial. It should be fine. I'm curious to see how traffic actually gets on in all of these spaces. I'm actually really curious to see how traffic gets on in all of these spaces, but we'll certainly find out. And then, yeah, over here, essentially what we'll do is recreate all of this kind of nonsense. So all of the little suburbs and cul-de-sacs and all that good stuff. Wow. We probably don't need the traffic lights there right now. Let's go ahead and just turn those off. They're definitely not needed. Oh, good. Oh, good. There you go. You love to see it. You love to see it. Oh, great. I'm going to test something here. because I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious. I'm going to throw more lanes at this just to see what happens. So if I set these up like so, I'm just curious to see what more lanes would do to this roundabout. Might not be my best idea, but it's whatever. We'll eventually give this industrial area over here its own little highway connection. I think it's fair to say that it's going to need one. Actually, in saying that, it's mostly traffic coming in. Traffic going out has no problem, but that's whatever. Yeah, that's whatever. Let's go ahead and do some trees then. We got these roads out here. We'll do those suburbs. You know, future Dylan can do those suburbs. But right now, what I want to do is have a look at some of these trees. So we're going to be working with what exactly? I think we're working with these ones and these ones. Am I right? No, they're a different tree. What am I working with? These ones? Okay. So I've got the two types of tree that I need to work with here. We want these ones and we want those other little ones. So we want a decent kind of sized brush. That seems a little small. We want a good bit of strength on it. And basically, I'm going to paint some trees alongside this bit of the highway, right? So it's going to be sort of going along here, and it's going to border that road quite nicely. It's going to border this bit as well. It can sort of be taken out of there. But essentially, right up to that roundabout, I want relatively dense trees because I want to block the view of the city a little bit. I mean, obviously, you're still going to see it over the trees. But I want to have sort of that natural sound barrier going on. Right, so you want that natural sound barrier for the highway, for the city, for all that stuff. Because out this way is going to be suburbs, right? That seems like the way to do it. So you have the massive intersection there, and then you live out here in the distance. You can see the city. You go onto this little road. You go around the roundabout. You go through this corridor, this beautiful corridor of trees, by the way. You hit this mental intersection, but also opens up to see all of the city. So it feels like from here, you know, this feels like you're really far away. Let me turn off the depth of field so you can see this properly. Graphics. There you go. So from here, I don't know about you. Maybe I'm just like projecting here a little bit, but that feels so far away from the city to me. And again, you know, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just sort of weirdly projecting here, but that feels so far away from the city. And you just, you know, you follow these roads around and, you know, at ground level, you're not really seeing everything through there. You get to here and just boom, city. That's what I want. I want it to feel really far away from the city without actually being really far away from the city. That's the whole idea, right? So that's what we're doing, basically. I'll go ahead and throw a couple more of those big trees in over here. And that'll give you a nice bit of density for those as well. And that's perfect, honestly. I think that'll be solid. We could probably get an actual little suburb space in here as well. Which might be a bad idea given the industrial traffic going along that road, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me bring that strength down a little bit, bring the brush size up a little bit, and just feather the trees a little bit here as well. Maybe throw a couple of the small ones in here as well. There we go. So something a bit like that. This area here is still probably going to get built up a bit more, but I like this. I like this a lot. I think that's going to be perfect for what I'm going for. So let me tear out some of these trees because, you know, I actually want to build the suburb and be able to see where I'm building everything kind of easily. So a lot of those can come out. And we'll put them all back in, obviously, later on. But just for the time being, that's kind of okay. But that's my plan, right? Like, make those into a bunch of suburbs, really similar to what we did over there. Surround them in beautiful trees and have the river going alongside them and all that kind of stuff. So I think that'll be really, really cool. This area here, actually surprisingly okay for traffic. I'm curious about what the buses are doing for it. So there's a few people waiting there. We've got a few more people waiting there, a few people waiting there, quite a few people waiting there. And yeah, so those buses are actually doing fantastic work. That's good. What about down here? Oh, there we go. That's what I love seeing this. I really do. I love seeing buses like next to monorail stations being super busy. Then the monorail station itself is absolutely packed with people as well. That's so cool. I love it. I love seeing the monorails really busy. I really, really love that. It's so good. All right. Oh God, that's on fire. That's just what you want. Is that a fire truck going to respond to it? I think it is. Oh, I've just realized they come out of there and have to loop the whole way around. Ooh, that's not quite what you want from your fire trucks, is it? It's like, oh, you know, we're responding, but we're forced to drive an extra mile to get there because for some reason the building's on a one-way road with a median that we can't cross. That's maybe a little bit of a yikes there. Let me set up these intersections. Let me control click them with the lane arrows tool just to make sure everything is going to where it needs to be going here. There we go. So that'll hopefully just let all of the traffic kind of filter around there a little bit easier. And just because we haven't looked at it at all today, I want to look over here. It's as bad as it ever was. It is as bad as it ever was. I did change the trains, though. I guess I should draw attention to that. The trains now go underground and underneath some buildings. This area here is now a bit denser than it previously was. We have got a little bit of space here to play with, where honestly, I wonder, could we get... I don't think the theater is going to be a good shot there, but we could do something like... I don't know. I'm sure we've got some unique building could go in there. You know, maybe the science center. Wouldn't be terrible. Wouldn't be a terrible spot for it. We've got the Grand Library. That would be really cool, actually. The Grand Library in there would be awesome. And it can totally fit as well. So we could maybe do the Grand Library. We've also got... Isn't there a museum of some sort? Or like the Modern Art Museum? So it would totally fit in there as well. We've got the Theater of Wonders, which could totally fit in there as well. So yeah, we could do some pretty cool stuff there with like the Theater of Wonders if we really wanted to, and then put some parking lots in here, make this feel a bit more dense. I don't know that I want the theater there though, but we will do some kind of unique building in that space at some point, is what I'm thinking. Anyway, this area needs to build, population needs to go up, and we got to fill up that space as well. So let's get that all done.